What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean P, the Bluff guy. Hey! And we are back at it again with another reaction stream. And today we will be reacting to a good buddy of mine here in the YouTube One Piece community, Best Generations. So he sent me a video. I guess this was a older theory that he's done. Um, and it is indeed older. It came out November of last year, right? So the title of this video, I haven't reacted to this, and the title of this video is this never told before story will blow your mind, and I'm itching to have my mind blown because based on the thumbnail, what I seen from the thumbnail, supposedly he uncovered, or Best Generation has uncovered who JoyBoy may be. So we're going to get into that. But before we get into it, make sure y'all hit that like button on your way in. Also, subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you know when I go live or put out a video or something, right? Also, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and follow me on Facebook. And if you're looking for a One Piece community, we have a Discord, and we also have the One Piece group. All of these will be linked in the description box below, as well as the video we're reacting to. But yeah, okay, so who could JoyBoy be? I don't have the slightest of clues, right? I don't have the slightest of clues. I don't think Eam is a character that we've met before, right? I don't think he's some old character that's kind of pretending, like that's kind of living a double life, right? I mean, unless it's Blackbeard, right? Blackbeard is like the only person who kind of has been hinted towards living somewhat of a double life. Now, I think that's because Blackbeard has multiple personalities. So, each personality might do their own thing. They might have their own goals. I mean, I think all his personalities kind of, or if he has multiple souls with him, I think they all kind of are on the same page of what the goal is, right? But yeah, who could Eam be, right? Who could Eam be? I think it's definitely a new character. I think Eam is his or her own character. A lot of people say Eam is a female. We don't know, right? We don't know. That has yet to be seen. But anyway, I kind of have my own speculation on what I think Eam could be, right? Or I think I have like two or three, but excuse me. So yeah, I think one of Eam's identities, or what Eam could possibly be, is an alien, right? Eam could be, in fact, from another planet, right? And for anybody who's saying aliens, One Piece, there's already been aliens. We've already seen aliens in the story. If any of you have followed the Anel cover story, right? When Anel goes to the moon, there is this one part where he pretty much fights off a bunch of space pirates that are causing problems, right? And they're called, I think that's what they're called, space pirates, and what are space pirates, right? People who, you look at pirates, One Piece is about pirates, but these are space pirates. So obviously they're not really from the planet Earth, right? They're not from Earth. They're from somewhere else. They was on the moon as well. Shout out to Rage in the chat. He said, "Isn't that just for fun?" What you mean? Is what just for fun? I'm curious. I'm not sure what you're exactly talking about. But yeah, so So yeah, Anel pretty much fights off these space pirates that are causing havoc on the moon. Anel and aliens. What do you mean? Are they just for fun? Yeah, the Anel and the alien story. What do you mean? Is that for fun? I'm not sure what you're getting at. Like that's what I'm confused. Uh, but so we already know that there's aliens in the story, and these aliens. I think one of them was kind of like tall, slender. I think he looked like a dog a little bit, right? Like a little hound or something. So this if you kind of took the silhouette of that alien though, it seemed like maybe they could, like it was kind of slim. He kind of looked a little slim, like maybe a little bit. I might be reaching. Rage said, "Are those stories in canon?" Yes, they're in canon. Yeah, you didn't know that. They're part of their canon. They're part of the story. It's not just stuff that he write. Now he does make cover. There are cover pages. There are cover pages that aren't canon. They're just kind of like fan requests. But the actual cover stories are canon. You didn't know that? Are they just for fun? No, they're not just for. They're part of the story, man. What are you talking? They're canon, man. What are you talking about, man? Come on now. like, why would Oda be making up this whole story with the Vinsmokes when we already know they were indeed at the at Whole Cake Island? So it makes sense. He said, "I thought he just make it for fun or request." Does he make them for fun? Possibly, but they're still canon. They're still stories. You know what I'm saying? Now the requests cover stories are for fun. Like those are just because they're requests. People ask for them, so he creates them. But the actual cover stories are they're not request. Those are stories. But yeah, so I think Eam could be possibly an alien. I think that's one option. I think another option, right, is maybe Eam is from the ancient kingdom. Maybe Eam had a connection, a relationship. And when I say relationship, that can, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be like friend. It could be a friendly thing. It could be like they could be related. You know what I'm saying? So some type of relationship, I believe that Eam and Joy Boy could have had, right? Why are we talking? We supposed to be identifying Joy Boy, not Eam. So I'm not sure why I'm identifying Eam. But yeah, I think Eam could be connected with Joy Boy. Now, but kind of flip it to on subject because I'm sitting here talking about Eam this whole time. We're supposed to be talking about Joy Boy. So who could Joy Boy be, right? That's a good one. There's a theory out there about Joy Boy being a snake. I don't know if I personally agree with Joy Boy being a snake of all things, right? Even though we did have that one snake in Jaya. We had two snakes in Jaya, one in the flashback and one that's still living. But the snakes were called Sun God, right? They called the snakes of Jaya, or at least I could be wrong. Maybe they were sacrificing to the Sun God, and then the snake comes along. So I don't know if per se if they considered the snake Sun God, or if the snake is just kind of a vessel acting for the Sun God, as far as what they believe, right? Up in over the Shandorians or whatever. Ray says celestial, or he said, or Ray says celestial dragons may be alien too. They wear helmets all the time. Yeah, I don't think those helmets are necessarily. Those helmets aren't like to protect them. Like for breathing, right? Because we seen in Fishman Island, the one Don Quixote celestial dragon, he his mask broke, right? His mask broke, and he didn't die or anything. He started panicking and all acting crazy, but he didn't die. He wasn't in any type of danger from suffocation because he's not getting the correct. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I think those helmets are more of something along the line of they believe that like maybe they don't want to breathe commoner air, or maybe it's something special about the air in Marijoa, right? And so when they're away from Marijoa, they wear those helmets, or I don't know. I think it could be some type of keeping, you know what I'm saying, just separating themselves from common people. Like I don't want to breathe commoner air, something along that line. Or maybe they believe that they're breathing some type of special air that grants them immortality or something. I don't know, but I don't know if I don't think they're aliens. You know, I mean, could they be? Possibly they could be. I guess. Uh, Shout out to Angel's Room. Welcome to the chat. He said, "Yo, what's up, Roanoke and Bluff?" Hey, shout out to Angel. What's going on? Ray said, "I have a question. Why Emu is villain? We haven't seen anything from Emu. Well, we don't know exactly what Emu is. We it, as fans, we look at Emu as the villain because Emu is at the head of the world government. Who we kind of look at the world government as villains as well. Everything we've seen from the world government, they're not like good people. At least I'm not saying they're bad either, but they do some wild stuff. They might do some great stuff too, but they do stuff like support slavery, have slaves, all that stuff. So, and Emu is on the top of that. So, by default, people are going to kind of look at Emu as this villainous person just because Emu is a head of an organization that oppresses people. We got DCXL Gaming. Shout out to DCXL Gaming. He said he did age though. Yeah, I mean, you talking about the Celestial Dragon? He did age, but everybody ages, right? We don't know for certain if Celestial Dragons don't age. Like we don't know if they have some youth, eternal youth, because he's like the only Celestial Dragon we really seen in the past part of the story and in the present, if I remember correctly. So, it's kind of natural for them their age. It's never been confirmed that they don't age. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's really. I don't think that's an argument. But I heard that I do understand what you're saying though, because I have heard that maybe them breathing normal air caused them to age, and that could be a thing. I'm not saying it's not a thing, but it's not one of the things that's confirmed, right? Like if it's confirmed that they have some special type of air, then yeah, that would make sense. But that could just be a case of him aging like any other celestial dragon ages, or any other human in general, right? Like that's all I'm saying. Ray said their head looks weird too. Maybe Emu and JoyBoy are partners and something happened, all things started. Yeah, they look weird, but Oda stated that he makes characters that he don't like. Like characters that are meant to be hated, like the Celestial Dragons, or just characters that are like real mean and jerks, but they don't like Sabo's parents, right? Sabo's parents. Like he makes characters like those that he don't like. He make them ugly. So that's more of a art. I think that's more of an art choice based off of Oda not liking Celestial Dragons and wanting them to be dislikable. So he makes them ugly. Maybe Emo and JoyBoy are partners and something happened, all things started. Yeah, I kind of agree. Like I kind of I had like a little speculation I made before that maybe Emu, maybe like JoyBoy like maybe Joy Boy had like a the OP no me and sacrificed himself to save Emu. Like maybe they had a relationship, maybe they were friends, or maybe they were like lovers or something. If Emu is indeed a woman, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they were lovers. So and maybe Eam is kind of a tragic figure. Like Eam is king of the world, but it's kind of like a prison. Because when you look at Eam can't go out. Like being king of the world but not being known is kind of a curse because Eam is stuck in this castle because Eam has to stay secret, right? For all these years, Eam has had to be secret. Nobody, like, there's probably only a few people, like the Gorosei and maybe some guards, who know of Eam's existence. So, in order to keep that existence secret, Eam has to stay in the castle and stay hidden from, like, common people or just other people outside of the people who know who he is. So, that's kind of like a prison if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? So being king of the world and you can't even go nowhere because you don't want people to know who you are. So I'm thinking Eam might have like a tragic story to how Eam became the king of the world. You know what I mean? And I think that might be connected with Joy Boy as well. So maybe they were friends or something. I don't know. Related. I don't know. You know. We got Adam in the chat. Shout out to Adam. He says, I like that rage, and I agree. I'm not sure if Emu is straight evil either. Yeah, I don't know if Em is really evil, but to answer a question that was asked earlier about why Em is like the bad guy, I think that's more of the fact that Em is the head of an organization that oppresses people. That's what I say. But that doesn't mean Eam doesn't have good intentions. Sometimes they say the road. I forget the saying the road to evil is painted in good intentions or something along that line. I don't remember the saying. DCXL Gamer says true. Ray said, yo, Angel Odin never made someone pure evil. They always have some idea or reason. You mean Oda? I was like, Odin. I didn't know Odin be making evil people. Emu looks hella beautiful and Blackbeard not too good, but BB Blackbeard looks true pirate. Yeah, I mean, when I said that Oda makes characters he don't like ugly, I think that's like the irrelevant characters. I don't necessarily mean just like characters that are like villains, like Doflamingo or Akainu. I mean, like when he makes characters ugly, it's usually some irrelevant character that he gives no other meaning other than to be hated. You know what I'm saying? A lot of characters, they have bigger purposes, so I think if a character has a big purpose in the story, even if he wants you to hate him, he will still make him bad. He will still not make him ugly. Emu doesn't have freedom. Yeah, I mean, if you have to hide your existence, if you have to hide in order to keep your existence secret, you can't go out nowhere. I could honestly see Luffy possibly talking to Emo like, hey, why don't we like let's say Em end up turning good or something, and I'm not saying that's a theory or anything, so y'all don't get on me like, oh, I don't see Em turning good. I'm not even speculating that. I'm just saying let's say if Em end up turning good and like Luffy says something along the line like, hey, this isn't freedom. You need to go out with, come out and explore the world with me or whatever. I don't know, something along that line. Adam says, I think that when Emu visited the hat, it was a grave, and I very much agree with the idea she is trapped up there in some fashion or sense. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with the grave part as well. I mean, I never looked at it as a grave, but I knew that hat was. I always thought that hat might have been like a memento to, or like a yeah, memento, I guess, of JoyBoy possibly. Maybe JoyBoy was a giant, kind of speaking on the video we're about to get into. Maybe JoyBoy was a giant, right? He has this giant hat, and I've seen some pretty good theories out there that point to Eam being a giant or maybe something of Oars. I think Wizard of Oars. I think now him and Marshall D. Preach got together and created one channel. They're pretty much working together. But back then, when Wizard of Oars was its own channel, Wizard of Oars made the theory about Oars or JoyBoy being part of Oars species. So yeah, there's and we look at the straw hat. That's a big straw hat. So if that was indeed JoyBoy's hat, JoyBoy had to be a big man, right? Had to be a big man. Ray said, and Luffy have opposite dreams. Kev, absolute freedom. Emu can go out, but she can't because Void Sentry is missing, so no one knows Emu. I mean, can she? I guess if nobody knows, maybe Eam could go out, but I don't think that's really the case. I think Eam stays within the castle, because it's also a protective type thing, right? It's not just a keeping the identity secret. It's also like we can't allow Eam to go out and possibly get hurt, right? It's the king, it's the king. It's our king. We got to keep Eam protected at all times. And if you go out with all this security, people gonna know who you are, or they're gonna be suspicious of who you could be. They're gonna like, who is that person with all that security behind them, and who's to say that there's nobody who does, like maybe Doflamingo knows who Eam is. Maybe that's part of the reason why Eam stays within the castle, because there could be some people who's somewhat aware who Eam is or the existence. So, there could be people that's out for Eam, right? There could be people who's out to kill Eam. So maybe Eam has to stay in the castle as well for that. Not just to protect the identity, but because maybe for actual protective reasons. But yeah, anyway, let's get to this video. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, the video that we are about to watch today will be in the description box, so y'all go show Best Gen some love. But let's get into this video.
Something very special planned for you guys. A type of video that I haven't tried before, but is truly in One Piece fashion. Shortly, I will announce what my goal is for this video, and by the end of it, we will see if I can achieve it or not. My intention is to broaden your perspective on how you see One Piece. After you make certain connections, you will realize that there is an overarching narrative in One Piece that will give you a greater perspective on things like the sun, gods, certain iconographies, what Marijoa represents, the nature of the Void Century, and many more things that are shrouded in mystery will get a complete new meaning to you. If I'm successful in this endeavor and you get something from this video, I would say this is the channel for you. That's why you shouldn't miss out on future content, and definitely subscribe. So without further ado, keep an open mind.
Y'all go subscribe to my man Best Generations. He makes some great theories. But let's continue
And enjoy the journey. And what better place to start than at the very beginning, chapter 1, page 1. We see Gold Roger at his execution performing the infamous speech that led to the start of the great age of piracy, the current setting in the story and what started the journey of our main character, Monkey D. Luffy. But who was this man that our main character aspired to be? Goldie Roger and his crew, the Roger Pirates, accomplished things that were considered impossible. They not only reached Lodestar Island, something nobody in recorded history has done before, but they also found a particular island that was entirely undiscovered, Laugh-Tale. By discovering these locations, the Roger Pirates were successful in something that is called the circumvention of the globe, and that created a new title. The people started to call Roger the King of the Pirates. Many also believe that Roger left a vast treasure at Laugh-Tale that they named One Piece. The one thing that nowadays needs to be acquired to earn the title of Pirate King. Though there's this thing with Roger's journey, something mystical about it. I'm talking about all the strangeness and wonder that we also encounter on Luffy's path. Particular, the allies and symbolism that we see. Now, if the following points I'm about to make sound a little off to you, I recommend watching my video on the Will of D so you can understand things better. The link will be in the description. Nonetheless, the symbolism of the Straw Hats is that they are representatives of the sun. That is why Luffy wears a straw hat. Why do people wear straw hats? Yeah, because of the sun. The Straw Hats ride the sunny go, the sun, and we have a prophecy that there are the people believed to bring the new dawn of the world. That of course explains why the sun symbolism is present within the Straw Hats. When they eventually topple the world government, which are representatives of the moon, they will become the new status quo. Times will change from the moon era.
Yeah, I don't think the celestial dragons are aliens, right? I mean, they do got the weird hairstyles, but I think that's just a fashion choice. They look pretty human, right? They look pretty human. And I remember the aliens we seen in their cover story. I don't think they really looked human. I think they look like I remember one as a dog. Like I'm gonna have to pull it up or something. But let me look it up real quick. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. Shimon. Let's look, cause I kind of want to bring that image of what they look like. Like here we go. All right, you guys see it. He kind of look like a dog a little bit, right? Like he got like a weird body. He ain't like he don't have normal fingers, but that might be a suit thing, right? That could be a suit thing. But when you look at the face, he got like that long nose, kind of like a one of them, like a muzzle. It's almost like a muzzle with like the little dog nose you see in cartoons, So yeah, it look kind of like a dog, man. Like, like I don't think those are. I don't think those are. I can't remember, but yeah, like I don't think the celestial dragons are those, and they say they are moon miners that mine anything they can find in there after the death of Moonwatcher First Lieutenant Spacey. So yeah, these are space pirates, and yes, it is canon. It is canon. I mean, cover stories are canon. Like even Rob Lucci had a cover story, and CP9 they had a cover story. Pretty much the aftermath of what happened to of Ennis Lobby. Even Pound and Lola and Chiffon finally met each other. Like Lola and Chiffon had their little reunion in the cover story, I think. Yeah, yeah. You know, Adam says, good point that the aliens look like animals, and with the newest Nika stuff, I really wonder if that is very important. Yeah. And you know that kind of made me think, man. Could the minks be aliens? The minks, you know. I think so. I think maybe some of the other non-humans. There could have been some species that came from other like planets. And if you guys remember O'Hara, right? There was an actual globe. I forget what you call it when you have like the whole solar system, like not just a globe, but you have like the moon and all that stuff. Forget what you would call that, but it had the Earth, and then it had like a bunch of other bodies, like celestial bodies, that rotate around the Earth, that spin. So and I think even One Piece's sun also revolve around the world as well. So I don't know if those other celestial bodies are moons, because with somebody, like when I was talking to somebody, I was like, hey, you know how One Piece have like multiple moons? So I don't know if those are supposed to be moons or if they're supposed to be planets. So if they are moons, then that would mean, are there really moon? Is there really a moon god if there's multiple moons? You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't there be moon gods because there's multiple moons? I guess I'm not too sure. Adam says there is this great dude on the Discord named Zagrash that is the cover story expert. He is amazing breaking them down. And with the human alien, so far every human thing, like the Hito Hito, has been classified as a zone. Multiple moons and maybe no visible stars right now. You said Zegrash. Is he on? Is he in our Discord, or is he in like a different Discord? Because I don't think I've seen the guy named Zegrash. Zagrash. Let's continue.
Status quo. Times will change from the moon era to the sun era. Now, with all that, it makes sense why Roger and Luffy struck a friendship with the same civilizations related to the sun, going so far as certain people even believing that fate is somehow involved.
命を救われ、なお物願いなどおこがましいが、お主らの強さには毎度圧倒されるばかり。諸子道連れもご縁なれば、我の国の将軍および四皇街道を討つ戦に。
Kinemon, as a retainer of the Kozuki, directly states their fate is tied. Pedro, another retainer of the Kozuki, acknowledges that the Straw Hats might be the people that Roger, the Kozuki, and the Minks were waiting for. We also have the Shandorians, who worship the Sun God, and whose war got ended by Roger when he communicated the wishes of their ancestors and passed the required message along to its designated place. Furthermore, Luffy was the one who freed Skypiea and the Shandorians from the terror of the moon god, Enel. The sun defeated the moon, we get the symbolism, but like I stated before, the point is these civilizations are related to the sun and are awaiting the world to...
Yo, Best Jim, when he says Enel in his accent, man, it just makes me laugh when he says Enel in his accent, because like, over here in the American accent, it sounds like he's saying anal. Oh man, I like Best Jim's accent though, man. It's like one of them accents that just make you sound smart, man. It's just like you just like when somebody is like talking, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm gonna learn something when you got that type of accent. You know what I mean? Man, shout out to Best Jim, man. Shout out to Best Jim. Adam says he might be in both. I'm not sure, but he's definitely in the best G one. He is great to talk to about the cover stories and the symbolism they might represent. Cool. Yeah, I don't think I've ever met him. Let's continue.
To come to its new dawn. Wano is inspired by Japan. the land of the rising sun. The Minks are retainers of the Kozuki, who also have a system of governance that depends on time, the dawn and dusk, the beginning of the sun and the moon. The Shandorians are inspired by the Aztecs and straight up worship the sun god. They even perform human sacrifices on an altar. Maybe that's a tradition that has been passed down to them, but they have forgotten.
Alright, so yeah, they said it's the great god Kashi. Is that what gods look like? So yeah, they do consider that snake a god. Or Kashi-sama. So yeah, they was doing this sacrifice for the sun god, and the snake comes, and they call the snake a great god. So I'm assuming, yeah, the snake is a great god. But and you know what makes the Shadorians believe that snakes are, or the sun god is a snake? You know what I'm saying? So can that have some ties to Nika as well? Since Nika is also considered the sun god, or is Nika like a different sun god? Maybe, I don't know, but they call Kashi and maybe I'm just remembering it wrong, but I'm pretty sure they called him the sun god. You know, so if that is the case, then what does that make Nika? Is he connected with Kashi, or Kashi's lineage? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Let's continue.
Its true meaning. After all, self-sacrifice is a tenet of the people who are related to the sun. All of them are willing to give up their own life in the pursuit of the new dawn. And it's probably because JoyBoy and Sun God Nika did the very same, self-sacrifice. And this ties nicely into Roger's execution, because we know that he did exactly that. Roger could have fled for the last year of his life, he could have continued his journey, but he chose a third way, to give up his own life so the great age of piracy comes to be. And this fire that he started will ultimately bring the world to its new dawn. That is why Blackbeard is not the man that Roger is waiting for. He is not an inheritor of the sun's will. That person is Luffy. That is why he and the Straw Hats have the symbolism of the sun. They travel from island to island and bring the dawn.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Blackbeard's who Roger's waiting for either. But I think Blackbeard, you know, like, I think his goal is a lot different from Luffy's. You know, I think so. I think Blackbeard is just, he's not who Roger's waiting for, but he's just as much of a threat as Luffy, as far as his what he is capable of achieving, and what he achieves affecting the world, right? I think Blackbeard is just as big of a candidate as Luffy to change the world. But with Blackbeard, it'll be more for the worse. With Luffy, it'll be like for the better.
On to the respective islands. And by the end of the story, they will do the very same when they will challenge the world government, and the world is brought to its new dawn, a new age. That much we understand, but there is one story that is essential in understanding the great mysteries of the One Piece world, which is arguably the most important story in human history. Without it, the story is incomplete, and we can't grasp a more profound truth. I am talking about what you have seen with your very own eyes on countless occasions. But before we can reveal that story, we need to make one more connection, because there is one civilization that lurks in the background that we will visit very soon, possibly even directly after Wano. I am talking about Elbaf. Most of you are aware that Oda was inspired by Norse mythology and Viking stories like Vivi the Viking, which gave him the idea of pirates and so on. The point is, Elbaf is a cornerstone of Oda's inspiration to make the series in the first place. And seeing how Elbaf will appear right before we go to Laughtale and find out the entire history, it indicates that Elbaf will set up the end of the story when the entire truth is revealed to us.
Hey, let me ask y'all something about Elbaf. Do y'all think that Elbaf is going to be a bigger, and when I say bigger, I don't mean in length. I don't mean like lengthwise. I just mean as far as the richness of the arc and what we get, you know, to as far as importance, I guess importance in the story. Do y'all believe that Elbaf is going to be a more important or a more impactful arc than Wano? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think Elbaf is probably going to be one of the most important. Like, if we do in fact go to Elbaf, I do believe it might be one of the most important arcs, you know, in the whole story. You know, as far as, you know, just the amount of stuff we might get from it. You know, we might learn more about Nika. We might learn more about JoyBoy. You know, possible Big Mom stuff. Some maybe possible Void Century stuff. That's kind of what I'm hoping with Wano as well. I think, you know, like the reason why I think after this fight is over, like I think I've debated with either Angel or Stan. I'm not too sure who I was debating with, but one of the things we were debating was when this arc's done, right? What are we leaving Wano after the fight finishes? You know, like how far is like how far after, how many chapters after the fight between Wano or between Kaido and Luffy, and also if we do get like a Kaido flashback as well. So after the fight, after the flashback, how much more of the arc will we get, right? And I personally believe that we still have a lot. Like, I believe Wano has a lot of secrets that we have not really been able to explore. Because ever since we got the Wano, it's pretty much we get the Wano and it's like, oh, we got to start, you know, like Wano's like tearing apart because people are poor, people are dying of hunger, all this stuff. So it's kind of like we kind of had to get right into the thick of things. But I believe that there is so much more to explore in Wano as far as learning about like history and the Void Century and all these things. So I feel as though after the fight is done between Kaido and Luffy, after, you know, they have a party, you know what I'm saying? Because you know they're going to have a party, right? I believe, or maybe the party could come like even at the end, at the very end of the arc. But I believe besides the party, I think there are a bunch of chapters where I think there will be at least a few chapters where we have to explore more Wano and how it was connected with the Void Century, and maybe how it's connected to JoyBoy, and maybe Sun God Nika, you know what I'm saying? And also some stuff with like Zoro, maybe going to visit Ryuma's grave, maybe learning of some possible connection he might have with Wano, or like the Shimosuke clan or whatever. So I do think there's still a little bit more that like I kind of want from Wano, because I believe Wano is really connected to the Void Century. It has heavy ties to it, so I kind of want to explore that. I want to explore it. So I think, you know, this fight could go on maybe, like that's why I kind of predict maybe about another 15 to 20 chapters personally. You know, at this point maybe a little less than 20 though, but before last chapter I think I predicted between that. You know what I mean? But let's continue.
And we basically almost know nothing about Elbaf except one essential thing. The giants in Elbaf also worship the sun, because they celebrate the winter solstice, which they also call the rebirth of the sun. This event might not sound important, but it's because you know it under a different name. That name is Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ. Right about now you must be thinking, Jesus in One Piece? What the... But hold on. I know you already have 5 arguments to throw at me right now, but really hear me out. Yes, we do see a lot of Christian iconography in One Piece. Mihawk is often seen wearing a cross, all of that stuff. And I would agree that it's only a stylistic choice to be more...
Kuma, you know, Best Gen. Kuma has the, carries around a Bible. Bruh, I mean, what more Christian references do you want from? What more evidence of Christianity being connected with the story of One Piece do you need than, you know, like Mihawk and his crosses, and then Kuma carrying around a Bible? You know what I'm saying? Not like not like some made up Bible, like not some made up religious text for One Piece, the Bible, right, which is a Christian book, right? But yeah, and I'm trying to think of some other aspects, but I can't think of any other aspects as far as like Christian stuff. I mean, I guess you could probably find some symbolism within Thriller Bark as well, because, you know, especially there was a lot of there was like cemetery, you know, a lot cemeteries tend to have like crosses on the tombstones and stuff, so I'm pretty sure you could find it, right? And even if you look at the world government, right, the world government logo, it's a cross. It's literally a cross, you know. But let's continue.
Inclusive for Western audiences if Jesus' story wouldn't be the key to unlocking the overarching mysteries of One Piece. Before we really get into it, I would ask you a question. The civilization mentioned up until this point have all the worship of the sun in common and are inspired by different civilizations from our world, as mentioned before. But what does the rest of the One Piece world believe at large?
Mother Karma,
what is
too.
the religion of the One Piece world? That...
Yeah, you see how Mother... I forgot about Mother Karma. She's like a nun. She's like a Catholic nun, you know? Carry around a cross and all that.
almost all civilians in the One Piece world intuitively accept.
Bellamy, cross.
When pirates enter the Grand Line and are being murdered at Whiskey Peak, what kind of graves do they make? Crosses, the symbol of Jesus Christ's execution. When pirates marry, who performs the wedding ceremony? A priest. When a civilian like Bellamere gives up her own life, what is being raised on her grave? Well, you know the answer. And it goes through the entire story. A subconscious belief of the people in the existence of heaven, hell, God, even the devil. And when it comes to the deepest law of One Piece, the Void Century, Marijoa, JoyBoy, Emo, it resembles what is believed to have occurred 2000 years ago in our world. Don't believe me? Who were the ones that got rid of JoyBoy? The future Celestial Dragons, the world government. Where is the seat of the world government? At Marijoa. What does Marijoa look like? A church. It straight up looks like it could be the Vatican, which of course is the same story as Jesus's. Jesus was executed by the Romans and ultimately they became the seat of his church, the Holy See. What do the Celestial Dragons call themselves? They refer to themselves as saints and have a blue cross on the world government flag. Oh yeah, I think the story becomes a lot more coherent right about now, don't you think? Especially if you consider Roger's sacrifice and that he was called the King of the Pirates, as Jesus was called by the people the King of the Jews, the Messiah. And I hope Kaido's words ring in your ears right now, and why he said that Luffy is apparently not JoyBoy either. If he thought Roger was JoyBoy come again and he just believed to have defeated Luffy, it explains exactly why he made that statement. Yes, the people in the know believe that JoyBoy will return in the same way that in our world, people believe that Jesus might return. And what do you see right on top of Roger during his execution? Two blades crossing each other. I think a crucifixion would be a little too on the nose here, don't you think? Oda had to be a little more subtle about it. But in
You know, I kind of thought about it too, right? You got Nika that could be looked at as God, right? And then you got JoyBoy who could be looked at as the son of God. You know what I mean? So, and the reason why I say that is because, you know, like if you, I've made the speculation that Nika or JoyBoy could have been like the reincarnation of Nika, right? Like or carried the will of Nika, right? Because if you guys go back and if you guys went and researched the JoyBoy, like the real life JoyBoy, like I think a couple streams ago I told you about JoyBoy being connected, like in real life there being a king named JoyBoy, JoyBoy, JoyBoyo, but it's also he's also called Jayabaya, Jayabaya, right? So, and I think it's King Jayabaya, but in some translation he's JoyBoyo, right? So either way, he was a king about like 800 years ago, which if you look at the story, I want to say the Void Century happened around like 9,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like 1,800 to 1,000 years ago, right? That's when the Void Century happened, and in real life, that's when this King Jayabaya pretty much died, about 800 to 1,000 years ago, and he was the king of this. He was the king of like Java, like the Javanese country or whatever, and like y'all go research it yourself. He made speculation. He made like a prediction that he made a couple predictions I think that came true. One of them, he predicted the fall of his country, and that it would, I guess, return to prominence or whatever. And I think that came true as well. He was also, but here's why I bring it up though. Here's why I bring Jayabaya up, is because he was also considered or looked at as the living reincarnation of a god, the god Vishnu, you know. And if you mirror that to Christianity, right, you could probably say Jayabaya was kind of looked at as Jesus, where he's like the living reincarnation of God, you know. And then if you even push it related to One Piece, you could say JoyBoy was like Jesus or Jayabaya, right? And he is the living incarnate, or at least the first living incarnation of Nika, right? And Luffy is kind of like the second coming of JoyBoy or / Nika. So that's kind of why I bring that up. Adam says the guy that ordered Nolan to be executed at court is holding a Bible too, different from Kuma's though. Okay, I don't even remember that. I had to look that one up. But it makes sense. Angel said Holy Spirit, Jesus, and the Holy Trinity, and God, the Holy. Yeah, I didn't really want to relate. I was thinking of the Trinity, but I didn't know who I could. I didn't really want to say like Luffy was the Holy Spirit, right? I didn't want to say that because I didn't really know how to relate it. You know, they also seen as one. That's true, and I did think of that. I just didn't really know how to relate it. I guess I didn't know how to relate the Holy Spirit to Luffy, because that's what I was kind of looking at it as, you know. And yeah, let's continue.
In recent years, that changed. Oda has become more explicit because we are near the end of One Piece. We see straight up crucifixions of people that are waiting for the dawn, whether it being the Minks at Zou, and even more recently, Yasui in Wano. Furthermore, the Straw Hats themselves are probably gonna be 13 people by the end of the series, Luffy and 12 crewmates.
You could take it back to Zoro when he was when Luffy met him on that one island. I forgot what island they were at, but Luffy met Zoro and he was pretty much being crucified. I mean, you know, he ain't had no nails in his wrist or hands, but he was still like tied up on this cross. And it was like he was waiting for Luffy almost. He was waiting for Luffy, the savior, I guess. Cube, welcome to the chat. Cube, shout out to Cube. He says, JoyBoy. Exactly. Angel said, Holy Spirit can just be seen as the will of D. Okay, bam, you made a connection right there. That makes sense. The Holy Ghost is the divine force, quality, and influence of God over the universe or over his creatures. Yes, sir. That's exactly what he is. Let's continue.
Mirroring the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ. Also, doesn't JoyBoy sound a little bit like Jesus? Even JoyBoy's silhouette straight up looks like him. Now, with all that being said, there still remains a question. What does Jesus have to do with the sun? Well, you can find many esoteric videos on that subject, but I don't think I have to say anything that isn't stated by Jesus himself. In Revelation, the last book of the Bible, in fact, the very last page, Jesus tells us about events that will transpire in the future, and in particular, Armageddon, the end of the world as we know it. But he also tells us exactly who he is. Jesus states that he is the bright and morning star. For those of you who know that term, you should be in shock right now. Because what is Jesus saying? Jesus is saying he is Lucifer, Lucy, which means light bringer. And I'm not stating that Jesus is Satan. Satan is something else entirely. But that Jesus has a relation to light, as we see in many, many murals. And what is the ultimate light bringer? It is the sun. It gives life to the entirety of Earth. Now, with all this groundwork laid, it's time to show you the evidence. Oh yes, I left this out intentionally because I think it would have been not enough appreciated if I had shown you earlier. There's one thing that seals the deal without the shadow of a doubt, and it connects it all for us. I'm talking everything. How the sun symbology, cultures, mythology are connected to Jesus, and the overarching idea that Oda is shooting for. It's extremely ambitious and daring, but it is indeed a valid interpretation. But before I show you this, I have to ask you another question that might seem random, but it's actually very meaningful. Are you aware of a book that exists in our reality that also appears in the story of One Piece? Weird question indeed, but how exactly?
I'm gonna take what is the Bible for 500, Bob? Yeah, it's the Bible, clearly. Cause we know Kuma had the Bible pretty much. You know, when we see him in Thriller Bark, you know.
Exceptional would it be if that book somehow connects all the dots for us? And it goes without saying, if it were a children's book like Pinocchio, I would say it's just a reference. But what if I told you that it's the most popular book in human history and it made an appearance in One Piece? And what book is that? Well, I think you know the answer. It is the Bible, which of course is the story of Jesus Christ. Now, settle down. If you need a break, this would be the best time to let it sink in. Take a breather, 5 minutes outside, rethink the series, let it settle in. I'm not joking. But if you're here right now, let's continue. When did the Bible make an appearance in the story? During the introduction of Mary Joa, the seat of the world government, and the highest authority in the world, that is the Gorosei. That should tell you that the Bible is somehow related to the Void Century and the world government. But what I think is even more crucial is who is holding the Bible. It is Bartholomew Kuma. And oh boy, this is huge. I'm gonna exclude Doflamingo here because he warrants an entire video. But just for you guys here, Doflamingo is a celestial dragon who are followers of the moon and is afraid of the sun people. That's why he's wearing sunglasses, to protect himself from light. The person behind him is Kuma, who is a follower of those sun people, dragon in this instance. And that is why he's holding the Bible, the story of Christianity, the birth and eventual rebirth of Jesus Christ, the Son. And I'm not going into why that is, I'm just saying that Oda thinks of it that way, which is understandable because he's Japanese and he doesn't believe in Christianity. He just observes these connections and makes something new with it. Really, I don't want a religious war in my comment section, okay? So really chill out. I'm just saying this is what Oda as a Japanese person believes. So, Kuma is holding the Bible. And
Hey, I advise everybody to go to Best Generation's channel and start a war, a religious war in his Nah, don't do that. Don't do. I'm joking. Do not do that. Don't go starting no religious war in his comment box. Yeah, we peaceful around here, man. We peaceful. I thought it says something different on the side, but it just says Bible down the side. And if you look at it, you know, or you look at the crosses on this Bible, it looked like the same on his shirt, right? It's like the same design. So it's like on his shirt he has a cross, but it's not really even a normal cross, right? Like, cause the middle of the cross doesn't intersect. Like that intersection, there is no intersection. It just stops, and you got the circle. So is this more of a sun? You know, is it made more look like a? Is it made to look more of a sun with cross features? You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of does. You see kind of like the ball, like it look like a ball or a sphere, right? And then the cross edges could also be interpreted as sun rays. You know what I'm saying? So it could be interpreted as a cross, but then it could also be interpreted as a sun with the lines being the sun rays that's emanating from the actual sun. But you know, and I probably did notice it, but I kind of forgot about it. I you know, like just kind of looking at that cross, and it's like the same design on the shirt, you know. So I really want to learn more about Kuma, man. Like Kuma is definitely one of my favorite characters. Probably like top 10. Like his devil fruit ability is easily like one of my top 5 devil fruit abilities. You know what I'm saying? Top 5. I might have to. It was at least in my top 5 at one point. I might have to reevaluate my top 5 just based off of like some of the devil fruits we've learned of since. But I really love Kuma's devil fruit, man. It's dope as hell. But like, I want to know more about Kuma. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to, cause we learned that he was called the Mad Tyrant or something like that, like the something Tyrant. I can't remember what his somebody in the chat let me know what is his epithet. It's the something Tyrant or whatever. And we know he was the king. He used to be a king. He was like he reigned over a kingdom, but we don't know what made him like go away from that kingdom and join the revolutionaries. And then, but we do know he joined the Shichibukai he joined the Shichibukai and sacrificed his body to science in order to protect his kingdom, right? So we don't really know too much in depth of Kuma, but I really want to know, and I'm hoping we know that he has a connection with JoyBoy, and I'm hoping that next time we see JoyBoy, maybe we could get some more like info on Kuma. And we never, and you know, it could make sense because I could see the Straw Hats saving Kuma. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might possibly try to save him. I don't know if they can save him because at this point he's a cyborg. His whole conscience is gone pretty much. But I could see them possibly trying to save him to help JoyBoy maybe, and for the fact that Kuma has helped them out on like 3 occasions. You know, it was the one time where he allowed them to survive in Thriller Bark, you know, because pretty much because of Zoro. The second time is when he saved them in Sabaody, right? When he saved them from Kizaru. The third time was when he protected their ship. When he protected the Sunny. So, you know, I kind of feel as though the Straw Hats might feel as though they owe Kuma. You know what I mean? So they might want to help him, you know what I mean, kind of to pay him back for the times that he's helped them or that he let them go. You know what I mean? Like I could see it being something along that line. Angel's Room said the tyrant Kuma, Bartholomew Kuma. So it's just the tyrant. I thought it was the mad tyrant or something. I don't remember. Yeah, but I do know they call it's tyrant in there though. So yeah, I guess it's just tyrant. Angel said Kuma has been compromised. Yeah, I don't know if they can, and that's why I say I don't know if they can save him. I could see them trying, but I don't know if they can actually do it because he's already pretty gone, you know. So it's kind of like, what can you do? Even if you took the body, he still, you know, I guess put him out of his misery possibly. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they could use Vegapunk to possibly get some of his sentience back, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what else there is that can be done for Kuma. And it's sad, you know, he's a tragic character, and I really like Kuma, man. Like I really do, and I want to know more about him. You know, it's sad. Angel's Room said, like the stream, get them likes up. Get them likes up. Let's continue.
We see that the symbol on the Bible is also the same symbol on Kuma's top. He somehow symbolizes the story of the Bible. At that point, we of course had no clue. But right now, we have the necessary perspective. Kuma is helping 2 causes that, if successful, will usher the new dawn of the world. The first cause is Monkey D. Dragons and the revolutionaries, who want to topple the celestial dragons and replace the world government with a system that carries on the will of the people. In this endeavor, Kuma joined the Shichibukai under the orders of Dragon to infiltrate the world government and became a part of a certain experiment, the creation of the Pacifista. Within this experiment, Kuma had to make the ultimate...
Hold on. I got it. When did he drop this theory? November 21st. So it was after Reverie. I'm pretty sure he joined the Shichibukai in order to save his kingdom. I'm pretty sure, wasn't it stated that he joined them? Like, he used to be a king. He used to have a kingdom, and that's why I thought he joined the Shichibukai. I mean, it makes sense for him to be undercover, but I don't necessarily think it's him being undercover. I think he was forced to I think he was forced to join the world government, to protect his kingdom. Like, that's what I thought, at least.
Sacrifice, to give up his own life. Self-sacrifice for the cause of the sun. Very akin to Roger, one could say. Then there is another cause that Kuma supports, the cause of the Straw Hats. When Kuma was at Thriller Bark and had direct orders from the Gorosei to kill Monkey D. Luffy, he was willing to keep his cover and do what was necessary. He was picking up Luffy and about to deal the finishing blow. But then something happened. Zoro and Sanji offered their own life in exchange for their captains. Self-sacrifice in exchange for the will of the sun to keep on living. Again, this is a very concrete theme. That, of course, was the one thing that Kuma couldn't disrespect, because he is a strong believer in the same mindset and is going to give up his own life for the very same cause. That is why he couldn't take Luffy's life and acknowledges that he is indeed Dragon's son. A very beautiful and meaningful parallel. But that is not all the help that Kuma gave the Straw Hats. He also saved them at Sabaody from certain death when he dispelled them throughout the world and sent them where they could improve in their respective field. And he also did something very symbolic in the 2-year time skip while the Straw Hats were training. Kuma asked Vegapunk to do him one last favor, to program into him that he would defend the Sunny Go. The sun until the return of the Straw Hats. You see how the literal and the figurative mesh with one another, but with the same underlying meaning. The people who follow the will of the sun are willing up to give up their own life for the cause so the world can come to its new dawn. But for
Angel said, nah, I think it's just said he used to be a king. Yeah, but I feel as though the only way he would have really, at least, now I don't know if he joined the Shichibukai out of like, you know, protecting his country, but I think at the very least he volunteered to be part of the Pacifista program out of protecting his thing, because I don't think Kuma would really give himself up fully for a mission. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he'd fully give himself to the world government for a mission. So I think maybe he was undercover and maybe he got found out and they was like, oh, you're Kuma, you're the king of whatever kingdom, right? And they was like, hey, so you're a spy for the revolutionaries too. Like they find out he's a spy or whatever, and then they kind of say, look, we need a volunteer for this pacifista program, and we know that you have a kingdom, so if you don't want your kingdom to get destroyed, be part of this program. You know, something along that line, you know. Like it was like they threatened them. But let's continue.
For that to happen, JoyBoy / Jesus has to return. And before we end this video, I need to acknowledge something to you guys. Yeah, I've been playing a trick on you. It was dirty, I know, but I think it was a necessary sacrifice. See how I got myself out of that one? Probably not, but either way, I'm gonna come clean. When I showed you the Bible before, I intentionally didn't show you the colors and another panel where we get a better look at the cover of the Bible. Because in Oda's greatness, he just gave us the answer all along. Because what do you see behind the depicted saint on the Bible? Yes, it's the sun. The radiating light that we see behind holy people in Christian iconography in our world, Oda concludes that that light is the sun. So when I told you before, I'm just telling you what Oda believes. Well, I wasn't lying. That's what he believes, that the Bible is somehow related to the worship of the sun. And that, of course, connects absolutely everything. Yes, Luffy is the second coming of JoyBoy, obviously. Who is inspired by who? Jesus the Son. And I hope you can trust your own eyes on this one. So, was I successful? Did I change your perception of the series? If I did or didn't, write it down in the comments. I would love to know how you guys took it. Definitely subscribe if you want to see more content from me. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video. Talk to you next time and have a very, very...
Alright, man, let's give Best Generations a like. The link is in the description box, so y'all go like the video. Y'all go like that video. But yeah, so no, it's much older Sun God Theory, you know, but we definitely got, you know, we got a lot of information since, you know, since this video came out about, you know, especially with Nika and everything. So I think he didn't really say anything about Nika in this video. Now, it came out in November of last year, so I don't remember when Nika was first mentioned. I know it was the Who's Who fight, but I think that was mentioned early last year, so I think Nika was indeed mentioned, but we didn't really get that much about Nika at that time. So, you know, and you know, Nika is the sun god. Luffy is also Nika, so I think we get a little bit more confirmation, I guess. There's what came out, you know, especially all them chapters ago, you know, like with the whole Nika devil fruit. I think that kind of helped validate his video that he made, or this video that we just watched that came out in November of last year. So good video. I liked how I like stuff that really connect like the Bible with One Piece, like, because there's a lot of references in One Piece about the Bible. You know, there's a lot of biblical references. You know, we got the Bible itself that Kuma has. We have all the cross references from Mihawk's little knife, even his sword, right? Yoru, it's the shape of a cross as well. You know what I'm saying? I think even the mask on his little boat is a cross, but I think most masks are like that. Like most of the cells tend to look like crosses on ships. But then you got some of the other cross symbolisms, and then we also have the Adam and Eve tree. You know, all those things. So it's a lot of biblical references that we get in One Piece, which is you know, which makes sense. And so the connection between JoyBoy and Jesus, I don't think is a stretch, right? Because you could look at JoyBoy being kind of a living incarnation of Nika, you know, at least during JoyBoy's time, right? And we look at Luffy, who could be considered the second coming of JoyBoy, who's this living incarnation of Nika, right? And we know that Luffy also has the Nika devil fruit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, all this is connected in ways, right? All this, it kind of makes sense, and things are being put together, right? Things are kind of coming together to seem like it's going in this direction. Angel said, great stream, but I gotta go. Hey, shout out to Angel's Room. Thanks for you know, chatting it up with me, man. Appreciate it. You know, Cube says Roger was executed in swords that pierced him in a cross. Yeah, that was pretty much mentioned in the video. You know, if you was here to watch, now I'm messing with you, Cube. I'm messing with you. Yeah, but he did mention that though. He did mention that. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to add to this. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. What do you guys think of the video? Right? Let me know in the comments. Do you agree with the connection? Possibly. Do you disagree with something? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. Right? Let's talk about it. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got for this stream, man. That's all I got for the video, at least. I mean, if y'all got anything, y'all let me know. But I'm about to start closing this thing out. So tomorrow I won't be streaming. Tomorrow's Saturday, so I won't be streaming, taking a break. But we will be back for Sunday. What I am thinking to do on Sunday is to get a small panel, and maybe we could talk about stuff. I don't know what yet, but maybe do like a panel stream. Hey, I might do a tier list or something. Like, come on now, I might have to do like a tier list, Hey, don't stop. Don't, hey, I don't know. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all want me to do on Sunday. Y'all let me know in the comments, or y'all hit me up on the Discord or whatever. Y'all let me know what y'all want to see for Sunday. I don't know yet. I've been thinking, but I don't know. I'm thinking of a tier thing, but I might save that. I might save that. I might save any tier list till after I move and everything, which is the next thing I want to bring up next week. Next week, not next week, but the week after next week, I will be moving. You know, I'll definitely talk about it more when we cross that road. I'll definitely be moving, in not this coming week, but the week after. I will be moving. So during that week, I will not be streaming. You know, because I'm gonna have to tear down all my stuff. So I think the last stream that you guys are going to get from me, for at least now, I'm gonna take like a week off. So the last stream you guys are going to get is the chapter on Sunday. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. That'll be the last stream, and then I'm gonna probably be going to break until I'm stable enough to do these streams again. But like I said, I'll talk about that more when we get to that. As far as next week though, I might not be streaming as much as I normally do. I will be streaming, and I will try to stream, but I probably won't stream as much. Like you know, I'm a couple days maybe. I don't know. Cause I'm gonna be I gotta be preparing for this move and all that, right? I gotta be preparing for it, getting everything I need to get, all that stuff, you know. But yeah, so next week y'all might not get as much from me. This Sunday, I'm not too sure what we're gonna do for the stream. Maybe I'll just get like a group of people. We'll get like a panel, and we'll just talk about some stuff. Cube says Fujitaro was maybe a former bounty hunter. I mean, he has said he's seen some stuff. I guess that's why he blinded himself. So maybe during his job as bounty hunting, maybe. I mean, maybe could I don't know. I don't think so though. I think he's. I don't know. I don't know what Fujitaro would have been. But yeah, you know, Fujitaro seemed more of a pacifist though. So I don't know if he would have been like a bounty hunter. I'm not saying he's a pacifist, but he seemed more of the type that he doesn't seem like the type that goes out looking for trouble with people. You know, and the bounty hunter, that's exactly what they do. They go hunt for people, which causes trouble, right? So I don't know. I don't think so. You know, I don't think so. I think Fujitaro is probably a more peaceful person, and he probably you know, he probably was like a monk or something, or he probably trained all the time. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But if he was a bounty hunter, I think the Marines probably would have wanted him something for more like those type of jobs, I would think. But yeah, y'all. Anyway, that is the stream. That's all I got today. We will be back Sunday. I'm not too sure what we're gonna do, but you know, y'all stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter and Facebook, you know, so y'all can stay updated. Also, we have a Discord, and we have the One Piece Facebook group if you guys are looking for a community. And if you're if you want to send me stuff to react to, the Discord is the best place. So yeah, definitely join the Discord. Definitely join the Discord. Been active. It's been active. Shout out to Cube for that. You know, Cube really been helping with that. Cube says civilians with admiral level power seems interested in gambling. Could be parallel to Crocodile. Both are from parallel arcs linked to Shichibukai, world government, and bounty hunters. Then he says great stream. I don't know. I kind of think you might be reaching to make the connection, but I don't know. That it's a possibility, but I never got any vibe that he was a bounty hunter previously, so I can't really say, you know. But yeah, y'all, make sure y'all like the stream and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you guys know when I go live. I will see you guys Sunday. Y'all have a good evening and y'all have a good Saturday. Yeah, see you guys Sunday. It's good. Anyway, I'm out of here. Peace.